G'day everyone, Reef from VerdaVap, and we got a bit of a big update in this one, boys. VerdaVap 1.5, the parts have just landed. Super friggin' exciting. Look at this thing. Look at this. Beautiful, beautiful. Literally haven't used this yet. It's cleaned, ready to go. You guys are we're gonna experience the first use of this guy together at the end of the video. As you can see here, these are not all the same. This is VerdaVap 1.0, and this is VerdaVap 1.5. So, let's just quickly go through the differences and the improvements that we've made on the second version here. So, why is 1.0 still here and why hasn't it been shipped? Well, you can see that this part here, okay, this was designed just to be glued on, and turned out that I need to use a really special glue that couldn't get anywhere, had to order from overseas, and it's been months and it hasn't arrived yet. Whole story. Anyway, so what I've done is I've basically redesigned it so this wood bit here doesn't need to be glued onto here. How that works. Okay. You can see there's a key here, so this just threads out. You can do it by hand pretty easily. So that piece there, right, thread, vapor path full stainless, wood, on, in, thread. And then if you really want to snug it up, you can get a coin in there or whatever. And just... Alright. You can see here, these little grooves for more glue to get in for when sticking the handles on. 1.0 didn't have that. That's another improvement. I've also made the handle, so this piece that threads in here, quite shallow, and it was a constraint of this setup. And I modified the next version. You can see how this is a little bit higher here. Basically moving this up here just give me a bit more wiggle room so I could make this a little bit deeper. So the handle is much, it threads in about 1 millimeter more than on VerdaVap 1.0. So the handle is just much more secure. So it's not just going to unthread easily. You've really got to, you've really got to unscrew it. It's not just going to accidentally fall out. More improvements. So, let's open up VerdaVap 1.0. Okay, let's just, don't worry about that. So, we've got the two components again. So first, we have the vapor chamber, which is this component here, this piece here, and then we have the thermal mass, which is the top part. So, I'll thread this off like I would be reloading it. So in 1.0, you load up this portion here, and then you thread it back in, and you're good to go. Thermal mass, I don't know if this has any beads in it. So with 1.0, the thermal mass, if you took it off just like that, the beads would drop out. So you had to take it off like that. The beads would be in the top part there. It's empty now. And yeah, that's sort of how it would work. And you just screw that back on there. So another improvement that we've made here is that the thermal mass, I'll do it with this one just so you can, the thermal mass here. So if we want to reload this one, okay, we unthread left, and now we reload it into this part here, right? So logically that's just how you would think it would work. You would grab it and you would scoop like that. Okay, so that's how it works now. So you load this portion, and then this top piece is basically just the thermal mass. So filled with synthetic ruby corundum. Now I'm going to thread this back on. Now, this was another thing pointed out. Like all of these improvements, most of these improvements have been pointed out by people who have tested like the early product, even earlier than 1.0, and they've given feedback. So all of you guys who have given feedback, like, there's people who are watching this video now who are like, I suggested that thing. I suggested that. Like, that's cool. Like, I appreciate that shit. Like, goddamn, really. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your input. And I don't know. It must be a really cool feeling to see that. To see, like, I would love that. If I was like, hey, you could do something like that, and then you can see it. Like, really cool. What I'm trying to say is thank you guys. I appreciate your time and your effort and the thought that people are put into giving critical and constructive feedback. Genuinely, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Let's continue. Let's continue. So, if we wanted to, say, reload VerdaVap 1.0, what you would do is you thread this off anti-clockwise, right? But if you were to grab it by the top and undo it, you might accidentally, if you had a few of these and you were a bit inebriated, you might accidentally thread off the top portion and drop the beads out, which would be just a real pain. So with VerdaVap 1.5, what I've done is this top portion here is threaded the opposite way. So if you want to reload it, you grab the top, that's fine. You can do that because what you're actually doing is tightening this. So instead of let's if you want to reload it, lefty loosey. Reload, righty tighty, tighten it back up. If you want to, for some reason, open up the thermal mass, it's righty loosey. So it's threaded the opposite way. And then you can see all the ruby in there. So if I want to put this back on, right, typically you would be like, all right, let's screw this clockwise. No, it doesn't screw on clockwise. You've got to screw it counterclockwise. So you're not going to unintentionally drop your beads. Another change that I've made is I've changed the there's less metal in the thermal mass now and more rubies. So yeah, should be a little bit more friendly to induction heaters. Though this is stainless and this is a there's a little bit of iron in there, so it'll probably work with induction, but this vape is really not designed to be used with an induction heater. The metals, they're non-magnetic. Anyway. I think it's about time that we test this thing out. Literally, I'm so excited right now. This is the first time I've used this. Wow, super exciting. So this is loaded up and ready to go. I have got a smile on my face, guys, seriously. So I'm gonna go, like I said, I've never used this, so I'm gonna go off like the time that I used with VerdaVap 1.0, which was about, I don't know, 25 seconds, something like that. Let's give that a crack here. Oh, wow. I am excited. All right, let's go. Let's do a timer. How do we start that thing? Let's start it. All right, we're on. "15 seconds. We can see that the flame is starting to get quite orange. I think now after about 20 seconds it should, 25, let's call it at that. Let's call it at 25 and just see how this goes. Just give it a couple of seconds for the heat to soak through. So we heat it up for 25 seconds. Let's go. You can see some vapor coming off. Let's go. I'm excited. Oh. Wow. That is like the thickest vapor, and it was like instant. That is crazy. Holy holy smokes, partner. Wow. Yeah, you can't even see my hand through that. Talk about thick vapor. All right. Holy dude. Holy moly. That is insane, dude. Yo. my eyes, dude. Holy shit. That's crazy. I've been not using the VerdaVap for a little while. I've been using the Mighty and doing like micro doses for the last few weeks to like get a bit of a tolerance break thing happening, but holy moly. The comparison there is just, that's nuts. Wow, that's strong. Alright, so it's been 2 minutes 40. That's including that 35 seconds of heat up, or 25 seconds of heat up time. Let's let it get to 3 minutes. And let's see if it's still hot enough to produce vapor. I'd expect not at this point, but let's see. Dude, I'm dying. Still some light vapor. Wow. So I reckon now if we heated it up for just another, I don't know, 10 seconds, something like that, it'd probably be good to go. So let's hit this at 40. Boom. So we started that at 40. Let's just go 15 seconds. No, 10 seconds. There you go. So that's 10 extra seconds from 40 to 50. Let's see if we got vapor back. Dude, I can literally feel that in my eyes. That's crazy. Alrighty. Clearly, like, look at that. That is nuts. Oh, look at that. So that just come. I mustn't have snugged that up enough. Guess that's something to be conscious of. Wow. Crazy. I really need to sort out a reloading setup for this guy so you can reload it when it's hot. That's on the list of things to do. Wow. That's crazy. All right, I'm done with this now, but let's just see if it's still up to 10. I mean, clearly yes. I'm impressed, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out, and seriously, thank you guys for sticking around for so long. Seriously, we come up with this idea at the end of September 2023. I guess really started it in like November, and yeah, a whole heap of people have been really keen and stuck around for the whole time. So I really appreciate you guys, and I appreciate your patience. Seriously, really, thank you guys so much. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good one. Also, if you want to buy one of these, the link will be in the description, which is a crazy thing to say. Wow, you can purchase a thing that I have made. That just seems insane. Absolutely insane. Holy moly. I think I need to go lay in a hammock for a little bit. Cheers, boys. Have a good one.